So I feel like there are levels of unemployment, you know? And being invested in the Bop House drama is like max level. But I have a full-time job. This is just like a hobby for me, which is, I mean, that's so much worse. But here we are, and I'm invested. The Bop House is an influencer content house, a super group of sorts, much like the Hype House or Jake Paul's Team 10.
This is Team 10, bitch. Who the hell else flipping you?
I can recite that entire song from memory, and that is not something to brag about. But the Bop House is a content house, and the content that they're making is a very specific type of content, like spicy content, you could say. Content I can't mention on YouTube specifically. They're OF creators, hence the name of the house. I'm currently undecided on whether or not this is cool and funny or just really dystopian.
Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker, boppity bop. I like it the way that you boppity bop.
Yo, you can't do that. You can't just make a house of bops.
Yes, you can, girl. Yes, you can. You love to see it. You love to see women defying the odds and carving their own path. This is feminism, actually. The Bop House has a lot of members, and because of some of the drama, which I will get into, they kind of rotate through members. But for now, I'll just go through, like, the most notorious members. Sophie Rain is sort of the matriarch of the Bop House. She's probably the most famous member of the Bop House. She has 11 million followers on TikTok. Holy shit. She also claims to have made $43 million on OF last year. $43 million. I cannot even fathom that amount of money. A lot of people say OF girls are like a plague on society, but society gave her that money. A lot of people don't think she actually made that much money, but I think people are underestimating the gooners of the world. Sophie Rain also claims to be a devout Christian, and she still has her V card, apparently.
I'm a Christian. Like, I know it's like, it seems odd. I'm doing, what did you call it? OnlyFans? I don't do anything else with anyone on my OnlyFans. Like, it's just me. I was just trying to do social media. I've always wanted to be like an influencer. You know, I look up to all these different influencers, and I was like, I want to do that just for, you know, shits and giggles.
So she's not even a bop. I feel betrayed. I want my money back. But I don't know. She could be a devout Christian. Who am I to say? It's none of my business. I mean, anyone can just say that, really. The worst person you know has a Bible verse in their bio.
Multiple companies actually offered me 7 figures to take my V card.
And what'd you say?
No. Why would I do that?
What do you mean no?
What do
you mean? Hey, Camilla, nice to meet you. Hire me. I'll do it. I'll take it. I'll take one for the team, okay? Hit me up.
Bruh.
7 figures aquí, por favor. Okay? Forget her.
Call me what you want, but I'm taking that deal. 7 figures, my ass. I'd do it for 10K, maybe less. What does that say about me? Nothing good, probably. Anyways, the girl that Sophie was talking to in that clip is Camila Aruajo. I am almost certain I mispronounced that. Camilla's like the second in command of the Bop House. She got her big break a few years ago when she was in Mr. Beast Squid Games, and then immediately after that she started in OF. Kind of incredible business acumen on display here, honestly. She's probably most well known, obviously, for her OF career, but also the podcast that she does with her little brother.
I'm not a good sister.
Well, it's not that you're not a good sister, it's just you gotta think that your actions don't just doesn't affect not just only you, but it also affects me. Like, next year, I'm gonna be applying for colleges, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that with things that are on the internet. I might not even be able to get a girlfriend, because people, like, they already know. In public, people ask me, do you really like your sister? Do you really approve of this? Like, I actually don't think this would work in my future.
Yeah, I don't know why it's edited like that with the music. You can thank Motivation House for that. But yeah, that is one of the downsides of this line of work, I guess. Just how it can affect your family. At the end of the day, though, it is her body. She can do what she wants. I might be wrong on this, but I also don't think that colleges would care, really, about what his sister does online. What they might care about is him going on a podcast multiple times to discuss it with her. It is a little weird. In one instance, I get it. Like, it's a good conversation to have. It's good to raise awareness about the risks of this career path. But this is like all she does. This is her whole shtick. Just talking about her OF with her brother.
I get this question way too much, even in school, basically everywhere I go, if I ever get recognized. What do they mean if it's pink?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. A couple of other notable members of the Bop House are Joy and Ava, who are both 19, which is maybe a little young to be making this type of content, I think, but What do I know? The Bop House has a very large following on TikTok, and it seems like most of their audience is young girls, which does make sense. They make a lot of content that seems very fun. They seem like very fun girls that a lot of young girls probably watch and look up to and want to be like. They think they're cool. But it's weird because the whole point of their TikTok, seemingly, like the namesake of their house, is to advertise their OF pages. And the only people consuming that content are dudes. They're gooners. So they've got these two separate, very different fan bases. It's just like a weird dichotomy. The Bop House is flourishing. They've got legions of adoring fans. They're making money. They're rich. They're famous. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Sophie Rain's Bop House shut down after FBI raid. A massive scandal erupted today as the FBI raided the infamous Bop House, shutting it down for good. Authorities stormed the mansion, arresting all participants and sealing the property after uncovering shocking evidence of money laundering. At the center of it all, Sophie Rain. Sources say FBI agents found documents proving illegal financial activities linking Bop House to a major laundering scheme, but the real bombshell came from Sophie Rain's phone. Investigators reportedly discovered incriminating messages detailing transactions, payouts, and connections to high-profile figures. It's also been revealed that larger investors were involved in funneling dirty money through the mansion. With her name all over the evidence, Sophie Rain now faces the most serious charges. Other participants are also in custody, but legal experts say she'll take the hardest fall.
Yeah, so none of that fucking happened, like, at all. You can just say anything on the internet. It's awesome. As far as I'm aware, the entire Bop House is not in custody right now, and Sophie Rain is not the TikTok equivalent of El Chapo. But there was a break-in. The Bop House was compromised. So this dude breaks into the Bop House, the police are called, and he's arrested. His real name is Connor Litka, but he told police his name was Connor Rain, and he was married to Sophie Rain.
I got called this morning by the cops. I'm talking to an officer, and he is insisting that his last name is Rain and that he's married to me. And
This man told the cops he was married to you.
Yes, he's married to me, and his last name is Rain, and he was coming to come see his wife, and he doesn't understand why this is all happening because he owns the house.
Also worth noting, he traveled from Texas to Florida to do this. This is a max level gooner we are dealing with here, guys. This guy needs to be quarantined.
Put him in a cage!
Anyways, at some point, a trend started on TikTok where people would audition to join the Bop House. People would film themselves doing this dance and then post it on TikTok saying it was their audition to join the Bop House. And from what I can tell, a large number of people doing this trend were young girls, girls who were not of age. Which is why I haven't shown any footage of the trend yet, but here is a video of a grown man doing it. To a lot of people, this trend might seem kind of harmless, but I think the issue here is the implication that these young girls could or even want to join the Bop House. But this kind of blew up, and it became a much larger issue when an influencer named Piper Rockelle did the trend. Piper Rockelle is a very famous influencer, and she is only 17. So why am I specifically singling her out? Well, she visited the Bop House and filmed TikToks with them in person. Should we add Piper to the Bop House? No, you should not. You should add Piper to a school. She should be in school. She's a child. Obviously, she shouldn't have been there, I feel like. Some of these TikToks, she's wearing very suggestive clothing, and I don't even want to put them in the video. Yeah, this was pretty bad, in my opinion. The Bop House would defend themselves by being like, oh, all we did was film dancing videos. But I feel like that's super reductive and intentionally ignorant. The issue isn't the dancing videos themselves, it's the implication behind the dancing videos. Thankfully, at least one of the Bop House members, Joy, had some integrity and left because of this.
Also, the reason that, like, I left the Bop House as well, and everyone's saying, like, why are you not accepting the Bop House girls' apology? They're all apologizing to you, you're so rude, you're so rude. I told them, hey, I don't think this is cool if we did something like this, and then they found different ways to go around what I said and went off a technicality of like, oh yeah, but we didn't technically do this, we did this instead. But it's still on the borderline basis of what I said I'm not okay with, and then for them to be like, well, I'm sorry, you're upset, I'm sorry.
I do want to add that this was posted by an account called Bop O'Clock, which is incredible. This girl named Alina, another member of the Bop House, went on to respond to Joy.
Like, it is ridiculous that the Bop House would even do that when there's so many other people you can collab with that is over
Okay. I totally understand Piper being in the Bop House is wrong since she's 17, but the issue with this is that she never was in the Bop House. She came over to Sophie's place after we ran into her at the mall. It was literally just for fun. All we did was make TikToks. Joy, why are you crying over this? Like the world's gonna end.
Why do I not believe that? Why do I not believe they just ran into her at the mall? At the end of the day, the problem is Piper being at the Bop House in the first place. The problem is the implication behind that. I feel like none of the adults in the Bop House should have even entertained this. Soon after leaving the Bop House, Joy went on to form the Asian House. Really, really great stuff happening on the internet right now. The Bop House would then recruit James Charles as a replacement. I forgot he existed for a few years, gonna be honest. In other Bop House news, very recently it was alleged that Sophie Rain had been lying about her name and age. The age thing is odd, but did anyone really think her name was actually Sophie Rain? This is a big bombshell, though. Does Connor Rain know about this? Someone needs to write to him in prison and inform him of this. He changed his last name for nothing. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. The whole Piper Rockelle situation has led me to my conclusion about the Bop House, and that is that it is really dystopian. Usually I'm pretty lax about OF content and people doing it. I think it's mostly fine. I think it's fine to do it if you know what you're doing and you're aware of the pros and cons of that career path. But the issue with the Bop House is that whether intentionally or unintentionally, they are introducing and glorifying this very adult career path to a very young audience. I think a lot of young girls are probably seeing how much fun the Bop House seems to be having, how much money they're making, and want to do the same. But the truth is, most of the people that do that won't be making anywhere near the amount of money that the Bop House is making. They're presenting a very skewed view of that lifestyle. And I think a lot of girls who choose that career path at 18, 19 years old don't fully understand the effects of what they're doing. Of putting stuff like that of themselves on the internet forever, of effectively turning their body into a product. On one hand, the Bop House is a group of very successful, business-minded women, and that is really cool. But at the same time, they're incidentally teaching young girls that the way to be successful is not to use their minds or their talents or their ideas, but to just use their bodies and cater themselves to men, and that is not a healthy message. With that said, 100 likes on this video and I will be starting an OnlyFans.